Just in case you weren't sure if this was a what do you call it, a virtual background or not. Yeah, that was a plane that just flew by here in the mountains of West Virginia. We've got this little airport right outside. Oh, you can see the ski areas. Yeah, so I hope you don't mind. I'm mourning my last week in the mountains of West Virginia before we leave on our adventure to Costa Rica. So I've got a little teaching for you today. So I thought I'd just do a little tutorial on the theme for today, turning closed questions into open questions. Uh, this is one of the um, we've got different skills in the AI practice room, the engaging skills, mostly on making reflections, turning questions into reflections. Then we've got evoking skills. Those are the more advanced skills. But today, turning closed questions into open questions. And let's just see how this goes here. So let me do that one more time. All right, turning closed into open. Let me get rid of this. And we'll do a new chat. So when you start up, you might have to sign in or log in. I think you get some free credits just for breathing, which is always nice. And I'm going to put in my name and my language. You can do the chat in any language that you like. And so here's a nice welcome. There's a This will take you to a blog on trusting your client. Um, so rather than being pushy by asking, don't you think exercise would help? So there's a closed-ended question. Have you thought about talking to your doctor about this? There's another closed-ended question. What would it be like to just ask questions uh, in an open kind of way, which communicates that we actually trust the client to know and to do what's best for them. So, oh, here's a little cute cat. All right, here's the first open-ended question. Isn't it important for you to have meaning in your life? Wow, going right for the jugular. Um, yeah. Isn't it important for you to have meaning? The problem with this is that it suggests that it should be. And maybe for the client, the idea of meaning, at least at this point in the conversation, isn't really relevant. They might think that's too touchy-feely or something, or that's not for them. So we could ask, what gives you meaning? What kinds of things give you meaning? We could make it a little bit more street level instead of, Viktor Frankl's man's search for meaning, human search for meaning. We could say, what's important to you in your life? What's important to you in your life? And we could even say this week or today. Yeah, let's make it a little bit more specific today. All right, so that would be an open-ended question. Now, what's nice here with the chat, which I really appreciate, spelling doesn't count. It'll probably figure out what you mean. That's kind of how the whole thing works, is trying to figure out what you mean. All right, so I get a little gold star. You've successfully turned the closed-ended question into an open-ended one. Great, that encourages deeper conversation. Here's your next closed-ended question. What do you want to do about your smoking? Quit, cut down, or stay the same? Now, this is a little bit better because it's giving a menu, and the menu includes sustain. Okay, so if the client is not a customer for change, it gives them room. And at the same time, it backs them into a corner because it suggests you have to decide right now. Um, Yeah. So if we wanted to make it more open-ended rather than like the closed end of the funnel, the open end of the funnel, we could say, what are your thoughts about your smoking. Now, one of the nice things that I like about this is that it doesn't suggest that you have to do anything. See, what do you want to do suggests that we're expecting them to be ready to move into action. If they're in contemplation or pre-contemplation, all they're going to have are thoughts. They're far from moving into action. So, what are your thoughts about your smoking? Would be more top of the funnel, open-ended. Let's see what the AI says. Okay, well done. Effectively transformed the close into questions. Okay, next one. Do you even care about your health? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember 20 years ago, I would say things like this. I had things like this said to me quite frequently. Yeah, do you even care about your health? No, I don't. It just brings out the sarcasm in me. Um, yeah, so you could say, what kind of thoughts do you have about your health? Um, what about your health is important to you? Um, yeah, what matters to you about your health? That's that there was that movement. Uh, not they were encouraging doctors not too long ago, instead of saying what's the matter with you, to say what matters to you instead of what's the matter with you. So, do you even care about your health? What would you do here? There are probably 10 at least ways that we could open this up. Do you even care about your health? Um, I'd probably go with, what are your thoughts about your health? What are your thoughts about your health? Oh, I've got one. I can see Steve Rolnick. I can hear his voice saying, um, yeah, what do you care about? Uh, regarding your health, what's important to you? Regarding your health, what feels important to you? I'm channeling the Rolling with Resistance video that he does. The guy who's clearly obese says, "Well, obviously, I care about my health." Uh, and when the client says it, it's the change talk becomes more powerful. So when he says, "Obviously, I care about my health," I might follow that up with, "Yeah, what are your concerns? What do you care about?" Uh, well, I'm batting 1,000 here, so let's mess it up a little bit, and let's get one wrong here. Have you ever thought about walking as a simple form of exercise? No, that's a stupid idea. That's what my teenage clients would say. Um, See, now, here's what's nice about this. I mean, it's not that these closed-ended questions are especially wrong. It's just that they say more about us as the interviewer and what we think they should be doing. So, yeah, okay, there is. But here's what I like about this. Walking is a simple form of exercise, and we know from some of the research that the easier the thing to do is, the more likely it is to be done. So if you say, Sky, you should do 20 push-ups a day, yeah, that might be pushing it. If you say, Sky, could you do 2 push-ups a day? Yeah, I could do that. No, well, I think I can. No, I'm pretty sure I can. Have you ever thought about walking as a simple form of exercise? Yeah, what would you do here? Have you ever thought about walking as Ah, now, if we want to retain the simple form, we could say, what? Let's make it, if you were to start some kind of exercise today, what would be easiest for you? Now, presumably the client is been the one to put the idea of exercise on the table. I always spell that wrong. I don't know why. I always get a Z in there. Or maybe we put it in as a menu. This would be a typical one for folks who are recovering from a heart attack. So we could talk about a couple of things. We could talk about your diet. We could talk about your drinking. We could talk about your smoking. We could talk about exercise. Which of those would you prefer to talk about with me today? If the person picked exercise, yeah, if you were to start some exercise, I would probably start higher in the funnel. Yeah, what are your thoughts about exercise? Well, I know it's important, but I don't like it. Yeah, tell me about that. What have you done in the past? What haven't you liked? What have you seen other people do? Here's what the research says other people do. And then at some point, I might say, if you were to start some kind of exercise today, what would be easiest for you? Well, I said I was going to try to mess it up, but I don't know if I don't know if I can. Let's see. Would you like to set a quick date? Well, let's just see what the AI does with you really, okay, here we go. You really need to stop smoking. See, anytime there's a need to, have to, should to, you're shooting on the client. It's going to make them feel like crap. It's going to, it's a shame-based approach. Their psychological reaction and reactance is probably going to push back on it. But I might try to soften it if I said, you really need to stop smoking. How do you want to do it? Now, this would be like a faux open-ended question, right? Because how do you want to stop smoking? That would be an open-ended question if the client described a desire to stop smoking. But the you really need to stop smoking, that unsolicited advice there uh, is um, is what gives it away. Now, this might be okay. It all depends on what the client just said. If the client just said, I have to stop smoking. If I don't stop, it'll kill me. I might say this sentence, you really need to stop smoking. That would be a reflection rather than unsolicited advice. I am affirming and reflecting back to them what they just said to me. Yeah, you really need to stop smoking. How do you want to do it? Or what are your thoughts on how you're going to do it? Well, let's see what the AI, let's see if it's clever enough. The AI isn't that smart. It's not as smart as humans. Ah, see here. Okay, nice attempt, Sky. Ah, very good. You really need to stop smoking. You've taken a step forward, though it retains some directive language. Okay, beautiful. So that's how that works. Give it a try, see if you enjoy it, um, and let me know how it goes. It is Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you're able to get outside. The snow here is melting. So I was out in it yesterday a little bit, but I'm glad for a couple days in the snow before we take off for Costa Rica in a couple of days. I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of the day. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.